Hey everyone, this is Frugal Panda here with a ride on the Lectric XP 3.0 Step-Thru long range. Long name. So this is the Step-Thru version. There's no real difference between the Step-Thru and the regular version. Just you could step through. It's great if you have an injury or you honestly just want one that's simpler to step over and stuff like that. But they ride exactly pretty much the same. And also, this is Ridgeway State Park. Ridgeway State Park is in Ridgeway, Colorado. We brought our hard-sided pop-up camper down here. We have a Forest River Classic. So we drove down here. We were on a 5 or 6 day, 4 night road trip. And we wanted to explore Mesa Verde at another spot in this area. We wanted to come here so we could explore ENGWE and Silverton and the surrounding areas without spending a bunch of money at a hotel room. So we brought our pop-up, and our pop-up paid for itself. Here to stay here we were here for 3 days, 2 nights, cost maybe 120, 140 bucks max. It also included an electrical site. We have air conditioning in our pop-up camper because it was hot out here. And they also had free showers here, and they were warm and very clean. This was a great stay, except for one instant our last night where a family, well, a whole bunch of people from Minnesota who I talked to the day before and they seemed cool, decided they wanted to get drunk and stay at past curfew. Needless to say, sometimes alcohol doesn't mix. I always try to be, respectful of people. That's why a lot of times I also camp during the week. And a lot of times in the winter too, not as many people. But, it is what it is. You deal with it. You either tell them or, whatever. It was okay. I let them know, and then that was it. I let the ranger know in the morning, and we were good to go. But beyond that, it was still a great time while we were there, and we had a blast. It was a really good time regardless. So anyway, beyond that, it was a great time. This is Ridgeway. It was a pretty nice area. No, it's a really nice area. Like I said, it was cheap in comparison to the hotel rooms in the area if we want to stay in ENGWE or Silverton. Though if I did come back and I want to splurge, I would like to stay in Silverton or ENGWE, more preferably Silverton, and stay in one of those old school cowboy hotels in downtown. We really did enjoy our time. Besides that little incident that last night there, it was a great time. And I tell people when you go places, control your alcohol a little bit if you're going to be drinking. I hate being around people that are drunk and do not know how to control their alcohol. But beyond that, I was on the Step-Thru riding here. I only have one battery in this video. I just, by the time this video is put together, I have just bought a second battery, and I did not buy it from Lectric XP either. So I saved 150 bucks, but it is an actual Lectric XP battery. In this one I only have my long range battery, but I now have the one that came with it, which is the long range battery, which I think is 14AH, and I also have a regular Step-Thru battery that is like 10.4 whatever it is, from the factory from them, that I ordered from someone else, and I got it for 160, 70 bucks, and yeah. So, but I didn't run out any charge on this. And also we had electrical plug-ins, so when I get back to the campsites, I just plug in my Lectric XP. So I brought my Lectric XP, and I'll leave a link in the description. I brought my High Boy scooter. I'm getting really good about bringing the High Boy scooter, and this last trip my wife really liked riding it. She'd hop on it to take it to the showers or to ride around the campgrounds. I'm talking about my little scooter, and I do like the High Boy. What I really like about it also, it has good power, but also it can't get flats. Yes, it's a little bit rough for a ride, but I don't have to worry about getting flats on it like other scooters. I'll leave a link in the description for that. Anyway, I'm just riding around. There's different parts of Ridgeway, so you have to go through different entrances to get in certain areas. So this is the first time initially when I'm recording this, is just riding around. I'm just checking out the place. And I got up pretty early. We all did. My son was out fishing at this time, so I was going to look for him as well to see where he was fishing at. And I can't remember if my wife took her kayak out. She might have. So I was trying to just, riding around, see if I could find him. Also, I knew it was going to be a hot day, so I just wanted to check everything out. So our first day there, we just chilled out. We relaxed more than anything. We had been on the road. We had driven up here from the Mesa Verde area. We were at Manco State Park before this. So like I said, this area has lots of stuff to do. You go to ENGWE, ENGWE is called the Swiss Alps of America or something like that. Beautiful area. Prices aren't too bad. You know, there's a lot of tourist traps there, but it's still beautiful, and you got to go see it if you're there. It's really nice, and there's lots of hiking trails. You don't have to pay a bunch of money. There's hiking trails too. Also, I recommend if you're in the area, go up to Silverton too. Go check it out. It's beautiful up there too. That's at 9,000. ENGWE's at like 7,000. Somewhere over 7,000, and Silverton's around 9,000 elevation. Yes, this is Colorado. Elevation is high. It is not like, say, where was I at? Washington, Leavenworth, where it's beautiful, and you're like, man, why is it so hot and everything? And you realize, yeah, it's in the mountains at 1,200 feet. So, you know, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that's just the difference between there and here. You know, that 1,200 was like the mountains, and it was beautiful. I'd go back there, but it's not like Colorado, where it's really in the mountains. It's like 9,000 or 7,000. This is probably at, who knows, 6,000 or so square feet. Anyway, easy ride around. I'm just checking out stuff. Beautiful park, well maintained. When I did have a complaint to make the next day, the rangers that were there, they took down my information. And the main issue with that is unfortunately budgets and difficulty hiring people. They just didn't have a ranger on site for the night. That would have easily been dealt with, because the rangers, if you've ever been to Colorado State Parks, they drive around to keep stuff, you know, hey, it's midnight, you know, or whatever like that, letting people know. But there was no rangers on duty is what happened. And then the camp host was off duty, and they really can't do nothing anyway. But anyway, everyone was real nice, real polite. Outside of that, it was great. We traveled all around. The e-bike rides well, the electric Step-Thru. I never really have any problems with. You have to tighten up every once in a while, because it is a cheap bike. Yes, it costs about $1,200-$1,300, but it is a cheap bike. You know, it's a mass manufactured bike out of China. Let's be honest. But it's a huge improvement over the old one. The old one was very rattly. This is not as rattly. I adjusted the brakes. I had to squeak for the longest time, and I was like, finally, I was like, oh, let me fix it. And it had that squeak since I bought the bike. That's the only thing that irritates me. Lectric XP, a little bit better quality control before you sending these bikes out and tightening things up on them. Will I keep getting Lectric XP and bikes like it? No, I won't. I'm actually looking at other bikes in the future, but I'm still keeping this bike for a while, just because I bought a second battery, and I would probably end up giving this to my wife. Though my wife saw the Rad Powers city bikes, and more of the bikes that do not fold up, that are larger, and they are a lot more comfortable. I was helping a lady, two friends, put their bikes up on the rack. And the Rad, I'm not saying I'm getting Rad Power ones, but it was a better quality bike, but they were so comfortable looking and everything like that. And they just ride better than, you know, folding bikes. It's just how it is. They're bigger bikes. But I'm leaning towards getting some of those as my next bikes as well. But I will be keeping the Lectric XP 3.0. And what I'd like to do is get some other bike, like a commuter city bike, mountain bike style one that's more comfortable. Step-Thru, though, it's not that I need Step-Thrus. I just like them. They're easy. And then if I want to switch off, or my wife wants to use them, she's 5'7". She doesn't have any problem using them either. So it's not like in the old days. You know, you're a kid. When I was growing up as a kid, you never ride a bike like a banana bike, or, you know, a bike that you step through. That's like a girl's bike back in the day. Nowadays, no one cares. So anyway, I'm riding around. I'm checking out things. I found another campsite. There's plenty of campsites, but it's always like this. You're in a campsite. Oh, this is pretty cool. Then you go a little bit further and you find another campsite. Oh, yeah, I like this campsite better. So I got to another area, and I like the campsite much more. I don't know about you, those watching, but honestly, when I'm camping, a lot of times I like being around older people. They're just chill. They always got stories for you. They're just, 99% of the time, they're just chilling, doing their little thing. They don't bother nobody. They got their little dogs, you know, whatever. They might have some questions. If they don't have an e-bike, yeah, they're just chiller to be around when you're camping. That's just the truth of it. I'm also getting older. I like to relax and just enjoy things. So when I got to this other campsite, I saw older people, or as I say, not necessarily always older people, grown people, and you can tell when you're around grown people. So I was like, oh, I like this area better. Plus, it seemed like it was more shaded and everything like that, like an older campsite. Anyway, there are dirt trails here too, but I have the actual folding e-bike. So having a folding e-bike, when it started getting really rough and really bumpy, I don't really ever trust those mechanisms, those lock mechanisms, when it gets like that too much. Quality control of Lectric XP has improved, but still, it's just the type of bike it is. I don't want it folding on me while I'm riding. So anyway, it's really great for the street. It's really great for light off-roading, dirt trails, gravel trails, stuff like that. When it gets bumpy where you start, jumping, and, stuff like that, you probably need to get off of it with this. Anyway, so with the Step-Thru, the one I have the long range, not the standard. So the pedal assist level for one is supposed to be a 65 mile range. On pedal assist 2 is 50 miles, pedal assist 3 is 35 miles, pedal assist 4 is 40 miles, and pedal assist 5 is 25 miles. And that's tested with a 180-pound limit. I weigh anywhere between 195 and 205. Let's say there. So I'm a little bit over that. That's not the weight limit, just in relation to the testing. So I would say on average, on Step-Thru 4, I probably get around 20 to 25 miles to be realistic. It may be more than that, but I'd say realistically it feels more like 20, 25. I've been getting better at enjoying things more in regards to riding. I used to be just blasting at at pedal assist 5. But I use pedal assist 3 a lot now, and especially with this bike, which has a little bit more powerful motor than the old 1.0, that it's a decent speed for me. So 3, I'd say 25 miles is what I realistically get. So now that I have a second battery, which I do not have in this video, I even get better than that. So now I have in the standard range. Let's give you the standard range if I didn't have the long range battery. Pedal assist 1 would be 45 miles, pedal assist 2 would be 35, pedal assist 3 would be 25, and 4 would be 21 miles, and pedal assist 5 would be 17. I say realistically, I'm probably going to get around 20 miles with that, which is okay with me. I knew that when I bought it, and that's totally fine. I had a 1.0, and that was pretty normal. I have a bike that's like a copycat of a 1.0 or 2.0, whatever you want to say, and it does just like that too. And I'm not complaining. Just get a second battery. Easy peasy. Anyway, so this ride was beautiful. It was nice. You see all the mountains around us. This ride's comfortable. I did change out the seat. I'll leave an Amazon link for the type of seat I have, which does make a difference. Now, the seat that comes with the Lectric XP 3.0 is a decent seat, especially compared to the old ones. But when you're talking, when your ranges start going up like that, you need to get a super comfy seat. It really starts getting to you if you don't have a good, comfy seat to ride. Now this bike also, my e-bike, my Lectric XP 3.0, this is not a sponsored video. Lectric XP never sent this to me for free. I bought this e-bike like I bought all these e-bikes that I have. So it was not given to me for free to review. So I'm giving you a real review of this. And that's the honest truth on this. Like I said, if you've seen any of my old videos, I am not going to sit here and say this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. These are not. They are good budget bikes, a step above some of the cheaper, straight from the factory Chinese bikes. What sets Lectric XP apart is that they have good customer service that's based out of Phoenix, Arizona, which is good. But the quality, it's a little bit higher than that. They definitely improved over the old ones. They're getting better at having these bikes built, and the quality control, obviously, in the factories where these are built. I've never had an issue with the batteries. I have had a controller go out on me on the old 1.0 when the bike was not that old. I always recommend when you take this bike, and I learned from experience, right away when you buy these bikes, go ahead and order you some 4-inch, 20-inch tubes, or whatever size this is. Get you a couple of them. They're dirt cheap, so you have them as backup. It is not that hard to change the tires on these either, by the way, but have them before you go on road trips. Don't just go with just your tires. I don't care if they put slime in them, because it sucks. I've been there where it's a Sunday and you get a flat and nothing's open and you didn't bring another tube, so you can't ride around the city you really want to ride around. Been there, done that. Don't do that anymore. Negatives of this bike as well. It's heavy. It's a heavy bike. They really need to cut down on certain things on these bikes. I'm not talking about the quality of the strength, the structural strength, but other crap can be cut down. The metal fenders, they rattle. Mine don't rattle as bad as the old ones, but they still rattle a little bit. And also, it's a lot of needless weight. I did like that about the Rad Powers, the Mini. I had the Rad Mini version 4, and some of the others is, believe it or not, at first I didn't really like plastic fenders. I started realizing, dude, those are a lot lighter than those metal ones that you have. And also the metal one's dent. So I think I got a dent in this one even, and scratch up. Um, Pet peeve I hate with a lot of electric e-bikes is they have the name brand on them, but you can't take them off. It's like underneath the paint, yeah, it's great. It's Lectric XP. It's not like you're riding around on a Mercedes or something like that. I just want to take that off and, throw some stickers on it or something. You know what I mean? I don't like that they have it under. You're kind of forced to advertise their bikes all the time. Um, Tires are good, 3 inches. I like the 4 inch bike, the 4 inch fat tires better, but the 3 inches are definitely better for range. That's one reason they're able to get better range. And one final thought that I do not do in regards when we're talking about range as well is I'm not very good at airing the tires up higher. If you air your tires up higher, you will get better range, by the way. And I'm trying to get better at that. And before I go on my road trip that's going to come out, that I'm going to go on, late September, where I go back to the West Coast, I'm going to be a lot more diligent in keeping my tires aired up. I do this on my EV cars, but I don't do it on my bike, And a softer ride is greater, but a softer ride also means less range. So, anyways, like you see, I'm just riding around. Of course, the roads are really good. This is Ridgeway State Park. Colorado is a very good state in regards to taking care of its natural wonders, its outdoor activities, and things like that. They have no problem shutting hiking trails down when they're overused. And unfortunately for California, or maybe it can be fortunately, a lot of people come here because we are known for outdoors and stuff like that. And with social media, I try and give people ideas and things like that, but it's also it's a curse and a blessing, especially for the bigger YouTubers, because people see stuff and everyone rushes to it, and a lot of times people ruin stuff. So it's just how it is. You can see here I am starting to ride, and it was like, okay, it's cool, but then it started getting really rough. I mean, you're not seeing it because I cut out the parts where I almost ate it a couple times, so you're not going to see those parts. But it did start getting rough, and sometimes when you're doing video, sometimes it doesn't show really the how actually rough or how different the landscape is sometimes. And I'm using a GoPro right here. But I'm riding, I'm starting to realize, it's getting a little rough here for me. So I'm trying to figure out, do I want to keep riding, and keep going here because of that? So, because I don't want to damage my bike. And like I said, it's a folding e-bike. But then it starts smoothing out a little bit for a while. So I'm like, oh, there's the lake. So let me at least ride down the dirt road towards the lake. And actually, I'm glad I did, because I couldn't find my son the whole time. I know he probably found a little obscure place. And then all of a sudden, I go through here, and then I find him, and then there's some benches and stuff like that, and he's actually over in this area, and you can just see, look at that. It's really pretty out here. I didn't take a lot of videos of the beach area and where the boat ramps and all that stuff, because they're packed. And to be honest with you, if you've been to any state park, you've seen them, what they look like on the weekends, and it was no different here on the weekends. And FYI, we also were here kind of on the weekend, so it's a little bit different. Usually I like going to state parks and stuff like that during the week, because there's other like-minded people at the state parks with you on the weekend. It's not someone leaving with, when I had little kids and stuff like that. My kids were hopefully pretty well behaved, but you got people with a bunch of kids, and alcohol is always in the mix a lot of times during the weekend and things like that. And a lot of times people don't know how to act. They really let their hair down like a little too much. So during the week is always a better time at state parks. Honestly, it's a lot quieter and stuff. So when you saw some of the pictures, how packed it was, that's because the weekend. If we were here more towards the weekdays, it wouldn't have been as packed either. But anyway, I'm just riding around here, checking it out. Next, trying to be diligent too, because I also don't want to fly down into the lake. So, but it's not that bad as I'm riding right through here. Kept it in pedal assist, probably 2, I would guess, more than anything. You don't want it on dirt, go up to 5 and stuff. This ain't that type of bike, and it ain't built for that. And yeah, you will go 25, 25, 28 miles an hour, even in dirt with this, depending on the landscape. But you also might fly off that bike at 25, 28 miles an hour too. So you want to be mindful of that. And I can't remember if I was wearing my helmet on this. I don't think I was wearing my helmet. In cities and stuff like that, I wear my helmet. Certain things on dirt roads, dirt like this, I should be wearing my helmet, but I'm also trying to also be safe. I'm not riding super crazy or anything like that. So I'm being mindful of that. But like I said, go check out Ridgeway State Park. I think it's a pretty cool park. If you can, try and get there during the week when there's not as many people there. There's so much to do in this area. There's Ouray, there's Silverton, there's Telluride. Go check out Telluride. Do not spend any money. Try not to spend that much money on Telluride. Telluride is a total ripoff. It's beautiful, but I ain't gonna say all of Colorado. A lot of Colorado is super beautiful. Also, you are not that far from Moab, so if you want to make a trip of it, you can stop here, then find another state park further on. We camped in Moab in Canyonland, and it was snowing out actually back when I had the van, and it was a blast. Anyway, I'll leave links in the description. This is Lectric XP Step-Thru 3.0 long range at Ridgeway State Park. Thanks everyone for watching. This is Freckle Panda out.